before I play this, let me you know, Mama always say, you don't got nothing nice to say, don't say nothing at all. So I got some nice shit to say first. So let's scroll down. Let's scroll down. Let's scroll down. Could we find it, people? Could we find it? I think I'm finna find it. Here we go. So Meg Thee Stallion, she recently threw out the first pitch at the Houston Astros game. Here it is.
She was practicing beneath the stadium just a few minutes ago and was throwing strikes. So here we go as she gets set to throw.
I'm going to be honest with you. Her ass looking amazing. She looked like she lost some weight. I love the hair. She's looking, you know, obviously, you know, still Meg, but she's looking good. We got to be honest. Meg is looking good. I'm going to be honest with you. All signs point to me that I think Meg is off that hand rock. Like, if you don't know that, let me tell you what that hand rock does. I drink it a lot. That hand rock puffs up the cheeks, makes your face a little fat. Your body starts retaining water when you drink a lot of liquor. I know this. Trust me. So it's not necessarily weight gain sometimes, especially for her because she's not fat ever. She's never been fat. But you might look a little bit more, you know, like round a little bit, like facially this and third. Seeing her here, I think she's got off that hen dog. Maybe she's got on some, you know what I mean, wine. Maybe she just drank a little bit less. You know, when Meg first came in the game, the word out via just many people in the industry is that 2 cups of Henny. That's what everybody was saying. 2 cups of Henny, gang. Like 2 cups of Henny. Feel me? That's what everybody was saying. Now, I don't know if that's true. I'm just saying that's what niggas were saying. But after a bunch of things that, you know, people started, you know, even like Nicki was calling her like sneakness and allegedly calling her alcoholic. I think she kind of reined it in a little bit, especially after this Tory thing. And I think she's definitely had some moment to reflect. And I definitely think the moments that I thought she was going to be like, yo, fuck y'all niggas, I told y'all when Tory got found guilty. Instead, she was quiet. And what that told me was that she was healing. And what that told me was that she felt vindicated, but she wasn't going to react in the way of, oh yeah, this is all I wanted. She wanted to move on with her life and probably better her life too. So I do believe, you know, I'm looking at her now. She looks really healthy. She looks good. She looks good. Feel me? Anyway, let me play this. Throw the fucking ball.
With that, we are underway and set for the first pitch as we get set for opening night baseball here in Houston. A special thanks to Carl Weathers for voicing our run.
Okay. Little cheek is right here hanging off. Okay. 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 Yo. For my men in here, you know what I mean? About to salute to all my women, my beautiful women who are in here too. But for my man, let me just tell you this, man. You know, women are some of the most gracious and amazing creation by God, but also, man, sometimes they could cause some of the biggest downfall for men. I'm not saying always, but it can happen. And just for this little cheekage, this little hangage right here, that's why Tory's going to sit in jail for a couple of years. Just that little ass. Just that. You feel me? Just that ass right there is why he's sitting. And I'm not saying just that. Clearly, I'm saying it probably affected his mindset, made him do things, made him act out of character, made him be in positions that allowed him to be incarcerated and eventually convicted. And, you know, shit, when you just look at it like this and you put it into these terms, like, yeah, that's a little fat, but it ain't that fat. Fuck that, nigga. Ain't 5 years or deportation fat. You feel me? Fuck that. Hell nah. Hell nah, nigga. Anyway, salute to Meg. But, you know, I told y'all, I be thinking I'm lying. Some people like, yo, Meg finna sue. I'm like, nah, you know, I'm not even still on Meg's case, but I be telling y'all it's true. Like, Meg was definitely allegedly snitched on me, gang. Feel me? So anyway, this is the whole appeal that Tory's lawyer filed in court. I'll show you some details real quick. Basically, to the Honorable David Hereford, Superior Court judge, blah, blah, that they're basically saying that they're going to appeal by his law firm, and Matthew blah, blah, will move this honorable court for a new trial pursuant to blah, blah, blah. It's pretty much long. It's a motion for a new trial, this and third, okay? It's been signed off on by the law firm, dated this. They are representative of Tory. And as you will see the people of the state of California versus Daystar Peterson. And as you go down, and I think the relevant portion of this is there's a lot of stuff. It's a lengthy motion. That's why they push back his sentencing. This was important, chat. However, throughout the multi-year-long pretrial proceedings, social media platforms were routinely scoured by the people. You know what the people is? The DA. And investigators, and introduced by the people as evidence as various pretrial proceedings. For example, the people were aware of social media's impact on this case as early as February 23rd, 2022, if not earlier, when the people alleged that defendant violated a protective order by allegedly leaking DNA evidence. These allegations surrounded the people near immediate discovery of a Twitter post by a non-party. Yeah, I'm a non-party, motherfuckers. You heard that. DJ Akademiks. The state's instant knowledge of DJ Akademiks' post provides strong evidence to support a finding that at minimum the state should have known that the Instagram post in question prior to blah, blah, should have known of the Instagram post prior to December 13, 2022. Further, and this is interesting, when Pete was asked, have you ever turned over to the district attorney stuff that the defendant posted online, she testified, every time a blog that his friends posted something, I sent it to them. So again, this is still an assumption, but it's reasonable to assume that. Remember when Meg went on a whole tirade when I tweeted some shit about the DNA, which I stand on saying that was just a hunch, pretty good guess, and really I got it from the judge. Okay, when I put that out, Meg sent that to the DA. Now I don't know if that's snitching, but y'all got to tell me. But really, there is no snitching in this situation. It's a woman getting hurt. It's not snitching, but still. Yeah. So allegedly Meg sent that out, right? So Meg basically testified that she was sending whatever people posted, and it says specifically referring to turnover posts from July 12th to 16. When the defense counsel pressed, I want to know what discovery was turned over by her to the DA. So the defense was saying, yo, y'all are saying we leaked some shit to this nigga named Akademiks. How do we know we ain't get this from Meg? Actually, I told y'all Rock Nation gave me it, didn't I? So the defense said, well, how do we know that Meg didn't leak it to Akademiks? The prosecution admitted she gave me some links. Is coming from her team. What? The prosecutor, she gave me some links that coming from her team. Notably, Pete's team, specifically her producer, was the source of a post at the issue herein. If they were submitting posts dating back to July 2020 to the prosecution, it is unreasonable to believe they would have not submitted a comment to their own post from 2 months later in September 2020. In addition, the detective testified that he and the other fellow investigators routinely use social media, including Instagram, as an investigative tool. This only further indicates that there is ample reason to believe that the people have failed to move with the required degree of haste in investigating the more than 2-year-old post. The state reported acquisition of the Instagram post, which blah, 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 blah. All right. Trying to see if I mention anywhere else. This is a long document. I'll if you guys want access to read all of it, I read all these things. These are good reading, if you ask me. I'll tell you what's kind of said to summarize it, but if you guys want a link to this, I'll give it to y'all. Essentially, they're pointing out everything that was done wrong. So in this particular part, they're using Tory Lanez Instagram post that said it wasn't Kelsey to say, yo, the prosecution tried to bat our Kelsey did it theory away by saying, well, Tory said that Kelsey didn't do it back on Instagram. And they're saying, who knows if that was Tory even posting on that account? Like, how could y'all just take an Instagram post of somebody who wasn't sworn in at the time? Like, how could you believe a post that was made on an account that multiple people have used to, right? Like, many people have access to Tory's account. How do you know if Tory made that post? And even if Tory did make that post, how do you know if it's telling the truth? So they're jobbing an appeal like motion, especially for a new trial. You know, motion for a new trial is really an appeal. It's just to create enough doubt to say maybe what happened in the original trial didn't do all the due diligence. Like, for example, if someone's gonna say you said something, they probably got to prove it through. Oh, did you get the not only just the DMs, did you get the motherfucking IP address? Did you do this? Did you like do more due diligence? Did you know who had access to the account? All that type of stuff. Okay. All right. So they point out that Kelsey's testimony should have never been had. It was an 80-minute testimony. And she basically said that they played her 80-minute interview. However, she took the stand and said, I lied in the interview. And they still played the interview. So they said that was prejudicial and the jury should have never heard that. There's a lot of things in this. It's very elaborative, and a judge is going to have to sift through this entire thing. They pretty much went through the whole case and figured out every single reason of everything done wrong. You get what I mean? So this is what this is what's pretty much submitted to the court. I'll say this, and, I really don't give a fuck, because, again, I ain't involved in your case. From what I was told and some of the things I seen, allegedly Meg may have, written some affidavits that kind of like pointed to, I won't necessarily say me, even though allegedly I was named. But those things kind of was Meg basically saying, yo, there's this guy Akademiks that's putting out information that make me feel worse as a victim. Allegedly, that's like she wrote like a whole fucking affidavit, and that was more incentivizing trumped up charges for Tory, but also it encouraged a more aggressive approach for Tory. I don't know, feel me? I'm just going off what was said. Now, granted, I'm not involved in the case, so ain't nobody knocking on my door, whatever the case. And y'all all see how I deal with subpoenas. They try to get me in that Florida XXX Tentacion murder trial. Good luck, niggas. I'm gonna be on this goddamn stream talking about your case right here. All right? So y'all niggas in Cali. If that shit don't happen where I'm at, tough out of luck. All right. Somebody said I put myself into that case. Yeah, well, no, I'm not complaining about it. I'm just telling you what went on during the fucking thing. I don't care. So let me kind of close this out by telling you what's the following steps. This is an appeal. Tory was supposed to be sentenced this month in April. I'm pretty sure that they're gonna just wait for the appeal before the sentencing. If the appeal is granted, it's gonna be fucking, which I think is a long shot. Like, in most cases that's super high profile, they hate granting appeals, especially so quick. Because they see the public toll, or the toll is taken on a prosecutor's office, the toll is taken on the public, the toll it takes on the court. When you have a trial like this, like, the court has to take so many precautions because there's additional people at the court, additional media. There's so much stuff that has to be taken accounted for. They don't want to do this 2 or 3 times. They don't want to do it a second time. It went long enough. So they're usually going to look for really good instances that you could really say, yo, we need to appeal. Because here's the thing. If this appeal is denied, they could go to a higher court, right? So I believe this is the Superior Court of the state of California, County of Los Angeles, the Central District. So if the appeal is denied here, they could go to another court that's higher than this court, still within LA, right? And then they could go to another, like there's probably like 2 or 3 more other courts before the Supreme Court of the United States, right? So they could go to fucking, which, you know, Tory's paying, oh my God, like, Lord, like, yo, from what I'm hearing, Tory's down $10 million. And this is why I keep going back to this fucking picture. This ass, you see, the thing, the women are so beautiful. God created the most amazing compliments of us men. But this fucking ass ain't worth $10 million, gang. $10 million. Bro, legal fees are not cheap at all. Bro, no, trust me. Yo, I'm telling you how much legal fees cost because listen, I told you some random chick can sue me for some dumb shit, which, like, it's so frivolous, but I ain't trying to go out like the game because I could have not responded to it. Nigga, the lawyer I hired already cost me $100,000, I swear. Yo, legal fees are fucking dumb, especially when you get a good lawyer or you get a lawyer or they know that you're somebody of importance. Like, oh, you're rich. Which, like, I'll probably even tell y'all too much, but I'll tell y'all. The motherfuckers who sue me asked me for a settlement for $300,000, but out of principle, I'm not paying it. Like, it's not even the case, really. This is somebody I'd rather pay, which is gonna be, I'm gonna write it off in taxes. I paid $100,000 to a lawyer rather than pay that bitch $300,000. Like, the fuck, having some thought running around with $300,000. But still, I got a good law firm. It's cost that fucking much, bro. Like, and this is some low level shit. This ain't nothing to do with my freedom, nothing like this. Some low level shit, my nigga. So if I pay that, and we still even haven't had it, like, I'll give you a little bit more. We just filed an extensive motion to dismiss it. This shit just, like, it's frivolous, and hopefully stops here. We just filed our motion to do that, right? My nigga, us filing this motion to do it, that means it's the first time that, like, this is how it works in civil court. It's the first time the judge is gonna look at it. First time. So everything else before judges, bro. Now is the first time the judge is gonna look at it. Imagine if you go to trial. Imagine if you're in a criminal trial where they know your freedom's hanging in the balance. Do you get what I'm saying? If your freedom is hanging in the balance, bro, you think these lawyers are about to charge you, like, nigga, they're charging you through the ass. And also, I'm not saying, like, even if you go broke defending yourself, like, most people, when you, like, a situation like that, especially if it's like a murder trial, you're coming out of that in debt. But when they represent people of power or people in, like, the limelight like that, they're looking at it like, well, Tory, you know, if we beat this case for you, you're gonna make millions later, so you could pay us back later. So give us everything you got now, right? Like, who knows? Like, Tory got shit going on. Maybe he got $5 million in the bank, right? He probably got more. I'm not trying to disrespect him. They take the $5 million. He's gonna make more in the future, but they're looking at him like, nigga, do you want to spend the next 7 years in jail and get motherfucking deported? Give us all this money, then promise us another $8 million. Bro, this shit is expensive, bro. This shit is expensive. So I guarantee Tory looks back and that ass right there is not worth $10 million, my nigga. That ass is not worth $10 million, my nigga. And this is why I tell men, listen, I'm now in a position where I see women start looking at me with, like, they're like piranhas. So I've had to change my motive of thinking. Like, I had to, like, before I was just like, man, I tell all men in the limelight, if you used to be one of them niggas who say fuck a bitch, like say you fly a girl out and she ain't fuck you, so you cancel her flight and kick her out the hotel, you could only do that when you're broke. When you're rich, you got to take the L. Shorty ain't want to fuck. Shorty ain't want to, you got to take the L. You got to send her on a nice flight back home, leave her in the hotel room, treat her like a lady. Like, I know grimy niggas. Like, grimy niggas act grimy. You can't do that. Not when you know, bro. When you know, it's cheaper to take the L. Yeah, the bitch finessed you for a flight. She came out. She went to go hang out with her friends. She's now at Tao. She's at motherfucking Philippe's with some other nigga. You feel played. She did you dirty. You ain't really FaceTime her enough, whatever. You got to take the L, bro. You know why you got to take the L? This bitch starts suing, doing all type of stuff. You're going to pay it anyway. Women have the ultimate power in America, my nigga. So when it comes to shit like this, now granted, this is like assault right here. You just got to, shit. Meg finna have the biggest, she about to have the biggest 2023. Tory's gonna be eating bologna and cheese sandwiches. Like, this shit's not, you know what I mean? Somebody says, act projecting. No. I'm projecting a little bit because these days I tell my homies, because I know grimy niggas. I know a lot of grimy niggas. And I always tell them, I say, yo, anytime I know a woman, please don't treat them like, I'm going to give you that story real quick.